Yeah, just in case.
This meeting's being live streamed. And Darcy's back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BB Disney and welcome to All Stars.
Yep.
First of all, congratulations.
This meeting's being live streamed.
Hello.
And Darcy's back.
Oh, it's the stream going in the background.
That's so funny.
Hello, everyone.
I
Welcome want to hear back. Myself twice. Anyway, hello, welcome back. Congratulations to all of you for your presence here. We do consider this cast the best of the best of Big Brother Disney thus far. So thank you all for saying yes. Thank you for coming back. You are also our absolute favorite people. Otherwise we wouldn't have asked you back. So I'm just so excited to have a cast full of people that we already know and already love. And you all know what BB Disney means. And I think it all means something to all of you the same way it does to us. So I can't wait to see you all back and see you all thrive in this environment all over again, because it's going to be extra spicy this time around and extra magical as always.
We're super excited to have you guys back. As you guys know, we are full of twists and turns, and we want to make sure we go over all those fun things and make sure you guys know all the good details and the juicy stuff. But before we get to that, we did want to show you guys y'all's intro video for the season, so I'm gonna stream that for you guys.
And again, John is in this one.
John did make it into this one.
I'm also going to be editing the actual cast reveal so that John Farrell is included. I don't know how I missed that one the first time, but John Farrell is playing this game. Woo! Welcome back, John.
Hopefully that works.
Yep, should.
If y'all can't hear it, just wave or something.
Just waivers.
Here we go.
This is the anthem. Here's what you came for. This is the moment magic was made for. Come on, let's light up the sky now. You feel the magic happening right now.
Come with me. All your dreams are out there waiting to be chased. Just in case you feel brave enough to put a little faith in a magic lamp for wishes. Then I know what true love kisses. If you wanna know what a wish is, just listen. Just a little faith and try. And with a little pixie dust, your wildest dreams can be yours. Believing is enough. Mix it with the magic stuff, and love is an open door. And you can make it possible, a possibility. Just wanna start to wish upon magic things are happening. Come with me. All your dreams are out there waiting to be chased. Just in case you feel brave enough to put a little faith in a magic lamp for wishes. Then I know what true love kisses. If you wanna know what a wish is, just listen. Just a little faith and try. And with a little pixie dust, your wildest dreams can be yours. Believing is enough. Mix it with the magic stuff, and love is an open door. And you can make it possible, a possibility. Just wanna start to wish upon magic things are happening. If you just believe.
So yay, that's all of you guys. Yay.
Wait, that was so cute. I'm gonna cry.
The link will be
That was really good, y'all.
Wait, that was
Like
so
that was
good.
really fucking
Oh my
good.
god.
Really
That's
good.
because Alia, you guys honestly slayed the action shots this season. I was super
Bitch, that was
Oh,
That
so
was
good.
really good.
What's the song called? Because I need that in my everyday life.
It's the finale for Magic Happens
at Disneyland.
at Disney.
Slay.
We used the intro for the Disneyland intro, but this one felt just like fitting and iconic for All Stars. But yes, the song is a bop. 10 out of 10 recommend. Anyway, yes, so again, welcome. Huzzah. Let's get into our official night one festivities.
So we got a little PowerPoint for y'all. We will leave room for questions, but if you guys end up having any questions, feel free to interrupt us, but we will later ask if there's any questions during certain parts. So we'll leave a little bit of dead air for you to interrupt us.
All right, dearies. Welcome back to the magic. So our agenda for tonight, we're gonna do our little traditions like we always do, which is our basic BB Disney rules and just kind of going over the expectations because one, not that we think any of you are stupid, but we just want to reiterate what we expect from you as production and what you can expect from us as players. And then also just a lot of things have changed between seasons 1 to now. Like BB Disney is a completely different game. And if the last time you played was season 1, you're in for a very different kind of experience. And so we want to make sure everybody's on the same page coming into this experience. We'll go over the voting lists, we'll go over the twists. And we'll do group picking in our first challenge at the end. So let's get into it. Yeah. All right, so welcome back to traditions. So a lot of people have been asking in the VL, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be asking or already have, you will be allowed 2 prod chat guests this season. That means 2. I know in the past we've been lenient with certain people, maybe having a couple extra. We are going to be very strict about 2 prod chat guests. They may not overlap. So if they're in your prod chat, they are in yours and yours alone. They cannot be in yours and somebody else's. And you just ask before you add somebody just in case there is an overlap. So if you know you want somebody in your prod chat, go claim them right now and ask in your prod chat and we'll add them or tell you to add them as we approve. And if multiple people request the same person, we'll go off of who asked first, basically. Alliance chats versus one-on-ones. So if you are going to private message somebody in this game, so Timmy and I are playing and I just want to have a conversation with Timmy and get to know him, I don't have to add production to that conversation. However, if me, Timmy, and Minor want to have a conversation all 3 together and maybe start working on a cute little alliance of 3, perhaps, whether it's an official alliance or it's just a conversation or a call or whatever the case may be, production must be included. I know there's several of us, so if you just want to add 1 or 2 members of production to the chat when you make it, we can add the rest as long as there are production eyes on the chat. And that is for our sake so that we know what's going on in the game. Not that we don't think you'll tell us in your prod chats, because always do, but that lets us keep an eye on the game, but it's also just like for your protection, because should something arise in the game, we want to make sure that we have the best course of action to handle it. And the only way we can handle it is if we know what's going on. And the best way to know what's going on is to be there. So that's what we request of you for any chats of 3 or more players in the game. Participate the way you would in a normal Big Brother.
So for that one, we can't control everything. In the past, there has been slight issues where, not to call anyone out, but they have put things on the wall. In Big Brother, you cannot put notes on the wall. I'm not going to ask for a 3D view of your room. Please, with the integrity you can, play this like you were in the Big Brother house to the best of your ability. Don't keep notes in your lap when you're doing a competition. Like, play it fairly, play it the way you'd want to play the game.
If you want to take notes throughout the game, I know everybody here, like I'm not gonna like lie and say I don't love a good spreadsheet of a game. Like I know you guys are gonna sit here, and especially because it's All Stars, you're gonna pick everything apart this season, and that is fine. Make your spreadsheet, study it, but this is a no-note, like this is an exam with no notes. So when it comes time for these competitions and stuff, we do expect that these are not open book competitions. And that's the standard that we want to set. Obviously, we cannot control everything and we will try to catch it if we can, but like we're all adults here and we ask that you respect the integrity of the game to give everybody a fair shot this season. Respect for each other and hosts. So that just means the integrity that you want to receive from your cast is what you should put out into the cast. We know that this game can get intense sometimes, that emotions can run high. We ask that it always stays game related. There is no reason to bring anybody's personal life into the game in a, obviously, like, you're going to form friendships. I know we all get very close in this house, and that's not to say don't talk about your personal lives, but don't drag people's personal lives into the game. And I think we all know what that means. I think we've all felt repercussions of that either individually or around us in games before. Let's not have that here. I've seen all returnee seasons of Big Brother Disney be the most magical, wholesome experiences, still with strong gameplay that I've ever seen. So I would love to see that again and just not have to have those conversations. That being said, if something is going on with another cast member, bring it to production's attention immediately with the situation and what is going on so that we can handle it. Again, there is no way for us to handle something that we are not aware of. So if something's going on in a one-on-one conversation that we're not present for, inform us immediately if it is making you uncomfortable so that we can take steps immediately to handle the situation before it blows out of proportions. People are getting strikes or removed from the game or anything like that, because that is the last thing I want to have happen here.
On that note, we are not in your one-on-ones. If something happens that makes you feel uncomfortable and you want us to take some form of action on it, screenshots.
Mhm.
We're not going to ask you for something that made you feel uncomfortable. Like, hey, that made you feel uncomfortable. Can I see it? So if you want us to be able to do something to help you, help us help you.
Yep.
Send us pictures of what happened, what we couldn't see.
That being said, obviously, as a general statement, no screenshots are allowed between players, all that jazz. Same thing with like the play it like you were playing Big Brother. Don't screenshot things and send it to each other. Don't directly quote messages. You can copy paste if you want to, because technically that can be edited. There's no way to prove that's a direct quote, but y'all know the general org vibes. Like, we're not going to be sending screenshots back and forth to each other.
One more thing on that note. We bring up the whole one-on-one chat. If me and Madison are making a really strong connection and we're a final two and we're gonna have a shit fuck ton of game information between the two of us, you can make a chat with Prod and a one person, like a one-on-one, if that one-on-one has so much game information that you think Prod should be.
Yeah,
there.
or if you're just like, this is a fun conversation, like, you know, if you think it's substantive enough to add production, you are welcome to add us to one-on-ones, but you are not required unless it's 3 players or more. Confessionals, obviously, they're never required at BB Disney. I think it's silly to force you guys to talk about your game, because ideally the game is going well for everybody, or at least like going for everybody, that you will want to update us with the information that you have. We will be available. There's a lot of us on the production team. That being said, we do all work. We do all have quite busy lives. So we won't always be available to do a live confession or diary room or whatever you want to call it. Club 33 closet, if you will. But if you want to do a live diary room confessional with production, ask in your prod chat. We are happy to try to schedule it when one of us is around, or if one of us is around, we'll get on it as soon as possible. I just caressed Timmy's knee by accident. And you are always welcome to record a video, send it to your prod chat, or upload it to YouTube and send us the link. However you want to do it, you can always just pop off in your texts in your prod chats, which I already know you're all good at. So just keep us updated on your game. We always want to know what's going on, but we're not going to milk it out of you. Just keep us updated, keep us in the loop. And especially the farther we get into the game, when it comes time for awards and things like that, we are only going to be able to base that off of the information that we have. So if you're Go Girl giving us nothing for the whole first like half of the season, and then all of a sudden your gameplay picks up, we're not going to have enough context for how you played to award you with something, or have it be, you know, we can't recognize what we don't see again. And then the last thing on this traditions is Robertoria, because this is again an interesting experience. So neither Robert nor Victoria were particularly all-stars, but Robertoria we wanted to invite back once again as a duo. They will again be playing as one person. They will have to agree on a vote. If they don't agree on a vote, they don't get one. It disappears. All conversations with Robertoria must be had together. Now, this is the only one time that the more than three people in a chat rule gets a little wonky because again, Robert Toria counts as one person. So you can be in a chat with Robert and Victoria and not have to add production because they are still one person. So even though it's a group chat, it's your PMs with Robert Toria, if that makes sense.
You should not just be reaching out to Robert and not just be reaching out to Victoria
Yes,
either.
do not privately message either of them individually. They have to be in all chats together. They do not have to be on calls together at the same time. They have to both be in the chat where the call is happening, and the call has to be recorded. That is the rule as far as that goes, because obviously they are two different people with two different schedules, and it's kind of unfair to make them participate at the same time at all times. However, so we let them call separately, but it has to be recorded and they both have to be in the chat where it's happening. And then this season, it's going to work a little differently for competitions. I know last season when Robertoria occurred, they were able to kind of pick who was going to play HOH at the start of each week, and then it flip-flopped. Ignoring POV for a moment, they're going to decide who's going to play their first head of household competition. And every round after that, they will flip-flop. So if Robert plays the first round, then Victoria will play the next, and so they will just flip-flop, so on and so forth. They do not get to choose. They will always just be alternating HOHs for the rest of the game as long as they are around. If they do have to play in Power of Veto, the opposite player from HOH will play in Veto. So regardless, that could mean that they end up playing back-to-back like Veto and then HOH, depending on how the rounds fall, but they will always be flip-flopping HOHs, and the opposite person will play in the Veto if necessary. I hope that makes sense. Again, if we have questions about that, we can get into it. That was honestly more for Robertoria, but also so that you all understand how they will work functioning as one person in the house.
Does anyone have any questions on Robertoria?
Or any of the other things that we just mentioned.
Neat. And also, if you ever have any questions after this either, and you want to just drop them in your prod chat, we'll be like, oh shit, that's a good
Yeah.
point, and we'll address that.
We'll
as
address
needed.
it. Voting lists. Most of you, I think, are familiar with this. We are just going to ask that by the end of this first competition, which we will get into when the end of this competition is later, but you need a trust ranking in your prod chat for the game. This should include everyone in the game. It can be edited at any time, and it should reflect how you would nominate or vote at any given time. So in the instance that you have to stay at work late and are busy and everything is going crazy and your tire is flat and your dog just died and life is in the can, we know you can step away from the game and we will still know who you would nominate, who you would vote for, all of these things, so that you can still kind of continue while also dealing with your personal life, and the game isn't impacted by your absence when necessary. And so that's just for everyone's sake. Hello. So for example, if Madison, Minor, Timmy, Michael, Ingrid, and Megan are left in the game alongside you, you will send in a list of who you trust most to least. So in this example on the screen here, you would most likely vote out Minor and or least likely vote out Minor and most likely vote out Ingrid on this example ranking. So just give us a 1 through 20 or 1 through 19, not including you, by the end of this competition. Slay. Thanks.
Now we're going to get on to the juicy part of things, which is the twist this season. This is the heavy part.
Buckle
So-
your britches, pull on the yellow strap.
So this season, the twist is the Club 33 twist. There is nothing more elusive than having access to Club 33, and you all have gotten it, at least once. Each of you is being given the ability to nominate someone, obviously besides the HOH. You are able to use this ability one time and one time only. Before the nomination ceremony, you must lock in your production chat that you would like to use it and who you would like to use it on. So if Madison's the HOH, I'll type in my prod chat, I would like to nominate Minor. So that's how that would work. The next step of that, if two people who are not the HOH try to nominate the same person. So let's say me and Ingrid both tried to nominate Minor. That person will still be nominated, but both me and Ingrid have both used our power, so it's gone. These power nominations will trump the HOH's nomination, meaning they will be revealed first. So when we go to the nomination ceremony, we as the host will be like, Timmy has used his power to nominate Minor. So if Madison was the HOH and she was planning on nominating Minor, she in that moment has to have a backup solution, which is why editing your trust list is so important. Because if Madison's not there for some reason, we'll go to the next person on her trust list. The last part. These powers are good until final 10. And if you choose not to use your power before the final 10, your membership will expire, causing you to be an extra nominee at the final 10. So make sure you do use that power wisely. It's not something you can be like, oh, I want to be diplomatic and not nominate somebody. Shut the fuck up. No, you're going to nominate somebody.
Or you're going up.
So questions, comments, concerns. This is obviously, this is one of the first-ish twists. So I want to know what's on your mind. What's the tea? What's the skinny?
No comments, no concerns, but let's take a fucking shot to that. That's fucking juicy.
No comments, lots of concerns, but
Are we taking shots?
Maybe in a little bit, just to clarify, there could be there could be much more than 2 nominees. You could have like 7 nominees. And for how POV will work, we will still always draw 3 people. So it'll be the HOH, and the HOH's 2 nominees will pick someone like they do in Big Brother. So POV is not limited to just 6 players. It can be as many as a lot.
Wait, so there can be like 7 people on the block?
Yep.
In theory, if a
In
bunch
theory.
Mother, period. Let's do that.
someone typed in the chat, make sure it's not a question.
is it public who used their power to nominate who?
Correct.
Yes.
Any other questions before we move away from the twist and into the competition for this round? Of course, if you think of any more questions, you can ask them in your prod chat and we will answer as we need to. All right. The first challenge. Time for your first challenge in our second twist. In a shocking BB Disney tradition, you all will be participating in a music video. In 4 groups of 5, you will be putting together a music video. You'll be judged based on creativity, performance, quality, and an overall score of your video. The choices for the songs will be from the past seasons that we feel deserve an all-star edit. No song can be used twice, so I'd recommend your group pick a song fast, because I think there's only 7 songs to choose from. So
once you have your groups, which we'll get into later, once your group claims a song, that it is off the table. So be the first one to pick the song you want. Otherwise, it is fair game for somebody else, and then you can't use it.
correct. Now, here's the little twisty twist part. 20 people, way too many to bring into Club 33. We unfortunately only have room for 18. So the bottom 2 teams from the music video will be up for elimination. Everyone in the cast will vote amongst the 2 teams who they would like to see eliminated from the game. Each player is only going to have 1 vote, but the player from each team with the highest vote count will be eliminated. So if me and Madison are both on the same team and Ingrid's on a different one and I received 8 votes, Madison received 6, yes, she technically has the second most amount of votes, but because I had the most on my team, I'm eliminated, she's safe. Ingrid could only receive 2 votes on her team, but because she has the most from her team with 2 votes, she will go home. Does anyone have any questions on how that works?
My first question, how dare you?
My second question, why do you hate us?
We love you.
My third question is, can I have an idol?
Period. Marcella, I'll give you a maybe.
Period.
My 4th question is, John Farrell, what kind of liquor are we shooting? Because I need it now.
So on to the next part. Let's go over the fun part. What songs you can pick? You can pick from season 1, Fabulous, from High School Musical 2. From season 2, Do You Want to Build a Snowman, from Frozen. From season 3, We're All in This Together, from High School Musical. From season 4, I'll Make a Man Out of You, from Mulan. The last 3 approved songs are from season 5, Fixer Upper, from Frozen 2. From season
That's
7,
not from Frozen 2. That's
Oh.
from the first Frozen, but that's okay.
From season 7, We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto, and from season 8, Push It to the Limit from Jump In. You have to pick one of those 7 songs. So at this time, we are going to open up some breakout rooms. You guys will need to divide yourselves into the team. We also know everyone is not here, so you guys will be dividing yourselves evenly into the teams based on how many players are here night 1. Once your team is locked in and you're like, that is my team, please return to the main chat. Each team will then pick a representative for their team to discuss splitting up the remaining players who could not make it to night 1. That representative is not, that's nothing T, that's no secret HOH, no powers. It's just somebody who will help determine the players who aren't here, what teams they end up on. Some things to remember, please remember choosing wisely, as these are the people who will, 1, be helping you, will also be campaigning against you if your music video is one of the bottom 2. So make sure you keep that in mind as you're picking your teams. Also, please make sure that you have an editor in your group before you lock in your team. It's great to work with your friends, but it's another thing to not have an editor on the team. So, can I grab my computer charger? We're going to see how many of you guys